I'm going to show you how I applied these press-on nails using glue tabs only. I'm going to make another video to show how I did it with liquid glue, but this one is just for glue tabs. I'm just going to be following along with one of my application cards. If you want to pause the video to read, this is a good time to do it. All of my clients get these with their orders. The nail set I'm going to be putting on is this white French tip set. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite ones. Now, if you bought some press-on nails, they usually come with an application kit. If you bought them from a drugstore, they might not have all of these things, but if you bought it from a small business like myself, there's usually an alcohol pad, glue tabs, liquid nail glue, a nail buffer, and a cuticle pusher. The first step is going to be trimming your natural nails. Now, you might be tempted to skip this step, but there are two main reasons why you need to do this step. One is if you have longer natural nails, they're more likely to cause the press-on nail to lift. Another reason is that if you're wearing your press-on nails over your long natural nails and you hit something, the likelihood of you injuring your natural nail is so much higher. Now, this doesn't mean you can't grow out your natural nails while you wear press-ons, but when you apply the press-ons, you want to trim them if possible. The next step is going to be pushing your cuticles back with the cuticle pusher. This is what the cuticle pusher looks like. Sometimes they'll have a wedge looking end and sometimes it'll be just a point. I like using the wedge. And if you don't know, cuticles is the dead skin that sits on top of your nail plate. They're usually either clear or white. Pushing these back should not hurt you in any way. Now, I will say when you push them back, sometimes if you have way too much cuticles, they will form a white line. And usually you're supposed to cut this off, but if you are not experienced in doing that, I recommend skipping this step. Otherwise, it'll make the next steps harder for you to do. The reason you push your cuticles back in the first place is to just make it look neater and have a cleaner surface for the press-on nail to go onto. A beginner-friendly version of this is just taking one of the press-on nails and pushing back your cuticles with that. The next step is filing away the shine of your natural nails with the nail buffer. Now, I'm using this nail buffer, but you can also just use any kind of nail file. It'll work the same. And all you're going to do is buff away the shine of your nail plate on all of your nails. After that, you're going to dehydrate your natural nails with the alcohol wipe. I give my clients 2 wipes. You can use one per hand or use one for both hands. It should be enough for both hands. And if you want, you can save the other one to clean up your press-on nails or clean up whatever else you feel like you want to clean up. This step is so important because glue really hates oil, and there are usually a lot of natural oils on our nail beds. And it also gets rid of all of the dust that accumulated when you were buffing your nails. The next step is to stick a tab onto your natural nail and remove the plastic, then firmly press the fake nail on top. Here are the glue tabs that came with the package, and you want to make sure it fits your nail from side to side. Once you've determined the best fit for your nail, you can go ahead and peel it off and then stick it on your hand. I like to leave a little space above the cuticle and the sidewalls, just a teeny tiny bit, so the press-on nail can kind of scoop into that space. Then you want to kind of just mush it really tightly onto your nail and then peel off the plastic. This part is a little difficult, but you do want to take your time so you don't mess up the glue tab and it starts sticking to everything. When you apply the nail, like I told you, you're going to do kind of a scooping motion. Make sure you're doing it at an angle and you're not just plopping it straight down there. And then press down really hard. Now, there's actually another method you can do this. This is just the method that I've always done and preferred, but in case you don't really like this one too much, there is another one. With the other method, you actually put the glue tab straight onto the press-on nail first. This might be easier for you if you're having a tough time maneuvering everything with the glue tabs being on your hands. My number one tip for this method is when you put the glue tab in there, curve it like I did in the video, and then make sure you flatten out all the air bubbles with either your hand or the cuticle pusher. Make sure that the glue tab doesn't go over the sidewalls of the press-on nail. It wants to be fully contained within the edges of the nail. And just like with the last method, I made sure to leave some space at the bottom of the cuticle and on the sidewalls so it can scoop onto my nail and seem as seamless as possible. And that's it. Here's the finished product. Here's how the nails look. Every single time I've seen someone lose one of these nails, it's because the glue separated from their natural nail instead of the press-on separating from the glue. So that's why prepping your nails is so important when you apply press-ons. Glue tabs are really great for people like musicians or nurses or someone that works somewhere where they don't allow nails. Me personally, I play an instrument. I work somewhere where I use my hands a lot, and I have a lot of labs in my courses and engineering classes where I really need to be able to get nitty and gritty with my hands. So I like to opt for these glue tabs most of the time. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them.